I just wanted to ask about eggplant when you said that you're really into like black, I guess, fruits and vegetables or whatever. I don't know if that's purple or black or and all this talk about nightshades. And so what are your thoughts about eggplant, which I like to grow in my charcoal activated garden?
Nice. Awesome. And by the way, I do want to give everyone a resource, which is biocharnow.com. I get totes of charcoal because I make my own charcoal, of course, in our fire, but I'm full on. I want to get every acre. I want to get it covering everything because we're in a toxic environment and more charcoal, the better. So you can buy a big tote from biochar.com. And I'd recommend the rice size pellets. And that makes it really easy for farming or gardening. If you really want something that's just already done for you, perfectly particulated, it's awesome. So I just wanted to mention that. Eggplant. I love growing eggplant. I love eggplant. I mean, I absolutely, I just love the flavor. I love the plant. I love the food. It's a nightshade. So it's like tobacco. It's like kind of on this quasi toxic, side to itself, but being Mediterranean, I have a place in my heart for eggplant, and it's not like I eat it every day, but every now and then I have an eggplant dish and I really, really enjoy it. And it's just like anything else. If you have too much of one thing, you're going to get into trouble. That's just the way nature works, because nature's always shifting things on you. It's like, hey, apple season's here and then it's gone. And then, like we're headed towards berry season. We just saw some really developed berries here in Texas. We're so far south, we're like Florida, that we're like, I'm going, my God, we can get 2 whole crops in. We're getting crops in March, and then we're pretty much harvesting in June. We're getting crops in May, and we're harvesting in September, October. It's amazing. We're just amazed. So I like eggplant, but I will say this. I would recommend that everyone if you're an eggplant person, you're like, why in the hell is it named eggplant? If you look at Japanese eggplant, then you'll know. So if you can punch up, do an internet search on Japanese eggplant, you'll go, what? There you'll see the reason why we call it eggplant.
Awesome, David. Thank you so much. And up next, we have Stephanie P. Stephanie, I'm going to unmute you and welcome.
Hi, David. Thanks for doing this.
Right on. Thank you.
My question is about fasting. So a while ago, I wanted to start getting the benefits of fasting as I'm on a journey to get my health together. So I decided to baby step it and start slow. So I've heard of people like fasting, 1 day a week or whatever. So I decided to try that and it went well. Like I felt the euphoric energy and clear and I felt good. However, I did notice a side effect that I was curious about. I have high blood pressure. So I usually take my blood pressure every morning. And I noticed every morning after the fasting day, it seemed to be like elevated, which made me nervous to do a deeper dive and to, start adding on the days and to getting more into fasting. Because I'm like, if this is raising my blood pressure, then should I continue on? So I don't know if you've ever experienced that before with anyone in your groups or anything. Could you kind of talk about anything you know about that?
Okay, good. Thanks. Good question, by the way. And I really love this area of high blood pressure research. And I went deep on it with my friend Dr. Group the other day, and we had basically a whole day. We were talking about high blood pressure cases and what he thought was the real cause of it. And his position was interesting, and it's a position that I think he's right. High blood pressure is almost always a liver issue. It's a liver clog issue, and of course there's other factors like dehydration. And I think we've really got to also orient ourselves to taking they're good for microcirculation. Okay, that's, I think, a factor in high blood pressure. So, for example, yesterday, what were the foods? Like Tulsi, the herb, the great Ayurvedic herb, is great for microcirculation. It's awesome. In fact, I recommend that if you're not doing any kind of herb every day, and let's say you're just like, well, occasionally I do green tea or something, Tulsi, the great Ayurvedic herb, is one that I recommend. It's the holy basil is another name for it. And you can get some, I think Organic India probably has the best, and great company run by a really wonderful man over in India, an old friend. So Tulsi would be that kind of microcirculation stimulator. There's other ones. There's things that are more, profound. For example, what's a big one on the list? Well, any cayenne pepper, any garlic, onions, anything like that are very powerful in microcirculation. But they're so, they're very strong. So you have to kind of find what you like. I'm not really a garlic guy. I'm more of an onion guy. So I like eating onions just straight. I'm that guy who just eat the onion straight. And you may want to put some more of that in your diet, but a liver cleanse is a really good idea. And then another thing is, when you fast and cleanse, you do stress your body. You really do, because your body's going, whoa, no food. Wait, what's going on? And so even though you can get into those highs, you have to also watch the stress. So typically what happens when people to the stage before they start getting low. They start going, my back's hurting. What's going on with my lower back? Because the crust suddenly dislodged and moved, and it all shows up in your kidneys, and that can cause that kind of thing. And that's kind of what happens too if you're just like doing spontaneous fasting each week. Is you might move some sludge and goes, whoa, wait, what's going on? And so that's to be a little bit careful with spontaneous. And that's why I really recommend, because of the level of our toxicity in our environment, that we go slow and that we move into doing these kind of regular water fasts. That's not to say it's not, I think it is good to do intermittent fasting, but it's way better and healthier the healthier that you are, because we don't want to move a bunch of sludge too quickly or, kind of sporadically where the body's like, whoa, wait, what's going on? It's kind of shocking. And I wish I had better news for you, because I really like that you're doing intermittent fasting, but it can be a little bit stressful on the system.
David, thanks for that. And up next, we have David A. I'm going to unmute you. Hi, David.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, David, how are you?
Fine, thank you. I was hoping you could talk about using Colima boards for home colon hydrotherapy and castor oil packs. And I know you've discussed parasites before, and I assume parasites are the number one issue you should do even before you're doing a cleanse using your rug supplement.
Excellent. Okay. Well, we always guide people into the cleanses, when the first week and the second week, we're doing a lot of, even before those weeks begin, we're doing heavy amounts of parasite herbs like black walnut hull and cloves and things of that nature. Now, those are not tonic herbs and not something you should do regularly, but there are something you should do occasionally just to see if you can get parasites out. Now, sometimes people really get a lot of parasites out, and it's really gnarly, actually, to just be very blunt with you. It's a key part of cleansing. In fact, a lot of our behavior is driven, especially food behavior, is driven by parasites. And, when you think about that, you think like, wait, what? And even Candida is just a simple thing. A simple yeast organism is really a parasite. It's leaching off of you. It's not giving you really anything. Might be protecting you from mercury. That's true. But it's really not doing anything for you. So it's really a parasite, and it's influencing people to just binge on sugar, right? So just imagine a more complex parasite like you would get from a tapeworm or liver fluke or something of that nature. We've got to get those out. So that is a key part of cleansing. And we use different ones. I use, let's see, I've got, where's my rug? Rugs here. That's one product that I use. It's remove unwanted guests. It's kind of a little play on, a bug and a rug, that kind of a thing. And microbe formulas, these guys have mimosa pudica seed, another really powerful worm killer. Now at this stage, and then Dr. Group's Paratrex, where's that one? Mycozil is another good one. This is good against Candida, and I really like that product against Candida. And then Dr. Group has his Paratrex, which I think I have back here. I should see if I can grab it. Hopefully I'm not too pinned in here. Okay, let me grab this so you guys can see that product. And that's that one right there. And so with those four, right? So we got basically these four right here, and I'm doing these for like a month leading into the cleanse. And then, once I get to the water fast, I'm off those herbs, and I didn't get any parasites out this time. And, I haven't for many years. So I think I'm good at this stage, but I still stay on it because you never know what you're exposed to and never know how those critters get in there. So that's a big deal. I'm glad you brought that up. What was the other part of your question? I think you had another piece of the question as well.
Yes, the other one was using Colima boards instead of seeing a colon therapist. Use Colima boards at home, and also castor oil packs. I wanted to get your opinion.
Okay, I like doing castor packs and enemas and Colima boards too. Colima boards are effective as well, and just depends on what you're comfortable with. Some people, I'm just like getting clients. Some people I do a home enema. Some people are like, I like the Colima board. That's what Ann Wigmore got me on, so I'm going to stick with that one. And just depends on you. But with the thing that I like to do is I like to do the castor pack and then the enema afterwards, and see if I can really move some sludge. So the castor pack is just something that, I just did it because, all my advisors, teachers, and people around me, they're all just do it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. And so I've got the linen soaked in the castor and put it on my stomach, and then put the hot water bottle on it and just sit there for an hour. And geez, there's been some times, especially when I've done fasts, where I've done that combination of the castor pack with the enemas, and it was really profound. I mean, profound stuff. And it doesn't happen every time, but I'm a fan, I have to say.